Oh, yeah, just wait a second. I'll hand it to you. All right, law of cosines. So law of cosines is used if we are doing side, 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 or side, angle, side. Not if we're doing, but if we have that information in the triangle. We know all three sides, then you would use law of cosines, or if you know side, angle, side, then you would use law of cosines. Do you remember what we use law of sines for? Angle, side, side. Or the other two? The other two are the ones with two angles. So, angle, side angle, and angle, angle, side. So law of sines has two angles. Law of cosines has two or three sides, and then there's that one law of sines that's the pain in the behind. That one's a side. We'll make a little flip chart about it tomorrow. So anyway, standard form of law of cosines looks like this. Now, how many letters do we have in the alphabet? I'm not going to make 26 different versions of this. There's 26. I'm not going to make 26 versions of this. So you have to know that the angle that you're finding, or the angle that is given, and the opposite side of that are going to be in that A spot, regardless of what letter it's called. This is the same conversation I had on Friday. You have to know that the ones that are opposite are the ones that are going in the A spot, regardless of what letter is given. And there's an alternative form for this. It is the exact same formula, it's just solved for that cosine A right at the end. So the angle A and the side A are kind of at the very opposite ends of the formula. They are opposites of each other. They're angle and its opposite side. Now the B and the C, it does not matter which one's B or C, as long as you know which one's A. B and C don't matter because you can put these in either order and square them and add them. Doesn't matter which order they're in. And you can put them in either order here and multiply them together. Doesn't matter the order. So if like B was 2 and C was 3, and I did 2 squared and 3 squared, or if I did 3 squared and 2 squared, I'm still going to same answer. A is what matters. Standard form we would probably use most of the time if we are finding a side. And I'm going to call it A, but it's not necessarily A. And I would use the alternative form if I was finding an angle. Again, I'm using A, but it's not necessarily A. And you really could use either form for either of them. I will give you the formulas on a quiz, but we saw on the quiz last week, just because I give you formulas doesn't mean you know how to use them. So make sure that you know what these variables stand for. I mean, I had people ask me in every single class what S stands for on that quiz that I gave you the formulas for. Well, I can't tell you. That's what you have to know. I gave you the formulas, but you have to know what the things stand for. What does that stand for? Side length? No, arc length. The distance, yeah. Okay. Here we've got 3 angles. No, we have a 5 to 3 angles, and we're given 3 sides. In the assignment, they say solve. In the assignment, they say solve the triangle, which means find all the missing pieces. So then they'll give you 3 sides, and you have to know and find the 3 angles. So since we're finding an angle, I'm going to use the alternative form. Which angle would you like to find first? Ooh, let's do B. Let's not make it that easy. Let's do B first. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at angle B, and then I'm going to find which side is B, because those go in the opposite parts of the formula. And I'm using the alternative form, so I'm going to do cosine of angle B is equal to, and I'm going to square the ones that are not side B. So 8 squared plus 14 squared, then I subtract off B, 19 squared. Divide that by 2 times, and then the first 2, 8 and 14, that are not the B. And then I say, what am I actually solving for? It's an angle, so I have to get rid of cosine. So I will be doing cosine inverse to both sides. So when I go to type it in my calculator, I might as well start with cosine inverse of all of that. So now I want you to type it in your calculator to make sure that you are typing it in correctly. And we have different calculators, so if you have an older one, you may have to type it in differently than somebody who has a newer one. I will put up both versions so that you can check to make sure you're doing it right for both versions. So I put up, like if I'm a new calculator, I'm going to use my technology and use my fraction button and everything. If I have the older calculators, I've got to make sure I have the correct amount of parentheses. Then you have something typed in wrong. So look at my parentheses. Where are you missing parentheses? I start out with a double after cosine. Do you have a double after cosine? Okay, I can only count. And then if you have the older calculator, make sure you write down what you typed in so that you can do this on your own. And if you've already gotten this answer and you're ready to go on, go ahead and find either angle A or angle C. Go find a different one using the same formula. And I will go up and put the formulas up for the other two just a minute. Just help them people their calculators do them. You got it okay? Sure. Actually, we're doing the first one. Okay, well, I can already tell you, like, when I look at mine, I say cosine inverse parenthesis parenthesis. Do you have cosine inverse two parentheses? Okay, so you probably don't have another. Did you get it? The first one? I would expect that you have the work that I write down in your homework or on a quiz. So I'm putting up the work for cosine inverse for C, and then I'll do also for A. Have you found two sides? Or two angles? You don't have to use the formula for the third one. What other option would you have? You can subtract them from 180, but what I usually do is, instead of retyping my formula each time, I just like go back up on my formula and hit second enter, and then I just change the numbers so I don't have to retype the whole formula in. So I just thought it was just as easy to change the formula and make sure I get it right. You can check by making sure they all add up to be 180. Okay, questions on the first one? So then the second triangle, they would ask you to solve the triangle, which means to find all the missing pieces. And here we are given SAF, side angle side. So I'm going to use the first version of the standard form version of law of cosine. And I'm going to find the angle that's given. That's angle A. So that means that the opposite side, side A, is what I'm going to start with. And then the B and the C, it doesn't matter which one's which. Minus 2 times B times C. Cosine of angle A. And once I plugged everything into the formula, I noticed there are no variables on the right side. So I'm really just typing it in my calculator, but I'm also thinking ahead because I want to find side A, and this gives me 8 squared. So how can I find side A? The square root both sides. So you could either square root after you type it in, or some of you have the better calculators, you can like square root before you type it all in. That's you. Do you have a question? So I'll go ahead and put the answer up here. You can check your answer with mine. This says that we're solving the triangle. So after we find side A, what else do we need to find? So complete the triangle after we find side A. We need to find the other 2 angles. So when you're finding the angles, that's when we use the alternative form. So for B, we would do, so for this, to make my work maybe a little bit easier, let me show you my calculator real fast. Well, let me show you on the paper, and then I'll show you the calculator. So to find cosine of B, or sorry, to find B, we need to do cosine B equals, and we do A squared plus C squared, and C is not 15, so 10, minus 15 squared over 2 times A times 10. Okay, so I can either put that number in there, but I would have to put the exact number. So you'd have to keep grabbing it from that previous question. Or remember on, I think it was Friday, I taught you how to store it. So what I'm going to do is on my calculator, I'm going to store this last value I got. I'm going to store it as A. Was somebody not here? I'm going to show you how to store it. Is everybody here when I show the storing? So I'm going to show you how to store it. And then I'm going to type in my formula, but I'm going to use A instead of grabbing that decimal from before. But I don't want to use the approximate decimal either. I want to use the exact one. So I'm going to use this formula. What is it? 15. So I'm doing cosine inverse, and I'm doing A squared plus 10 squared minus 15 squared over 2 times A times 10. Nope. Yes. Yes, that's is that right? That's everything right? Okay, 7.761. And then to find measure of angle C, I'll probably just take 180, subtract that last answer, which was B, and then subtract off the 115. That seems to be the easiest way of finding the measurement of angle C. $25.239. When you're ready to go on, try to turn page to the next question. Yes. 115, the A. To find angle C. Because they're all three out of 2.
Okay, so that's just one equation.
Yeah.
It's just like, since it was only different.
Yeah, I was trying to do different colors for different things too. Oh, you mean this whole thing? Yeah, because I ran out of space. Here, I'll fix it for you. Another question? All right, so we have a picture, and they're talking about the pitcher's mound on a women's softball field, 43 feet from home plate, distance between base is 6 feet. We need to find how far the pitcher's mound is from first base. So we're finding that H value. There's no 90 degrees written in there, so I can't assume that there's 90 degrees. So which case do we have here? We have a side, then we have an angle in between the sides, and we have the other side. So we have side, angle, side, yeah.
You can't assume it's 90 even though it says 45.
No, because this could be 89 degrees and 46 degrees. I don't know enough information. So yeah, you never want to assume it. If it's 90, they'll tell you, or they'll draw it in, or we'll find out. So here, this side H is opposite. Oh, I guess they called it. Oh yeah, they called it angle H, not A, but that's the angle. So I'm going to be using the first form, the standard form, and I'll do H squared equals my other two sides squared minus 2 times 43 times 60 times cosine, the angle they gave us, 45. And once I type that in, I need to find H, so I'm going to square root both sides. I'm going to do it before I type it in or after. So it's you. The stuff I write on the paper is what I would like to see in your homework, and everything else you're just typing in the calculator. So you get 42.430. So Avery is going to write angle. Close. 42.430. Could we find the angle if we wanted to? We could. Could use law of cosines to find it. What is the speed? Okay, the next one, application. So we've got a ship that is traveling, and it's a little dark. I'll go through it. It's traveling 60 miles to point B, and it turns a little bit, and now it's going 80 miles up to point C, and then they tell you from A to C is 139 miles. So we have a triangle formed, and which information do we know about that triangle? Which case do we have? Side, side, side. Now it says we need to find the bearing from B to C. We need to find the bearing from B to C. So when we're finding the bearing, we're going to either start with north or south. So you say, from B to C, am I going north or south? North. So that's going to be my initial side, north. So when I'm writing my final answer, it's going to be n something degrees, and then we got to find the other direction it goes. So my initial side is north. From north, looks like we're rotating this direction to side BC. So which direction is it rotating? East. Put that in the weird spot. So our answer is going to be north something degrees east. So we have to find that angle. That angle is part of a different angle. What angle is that part of? B. And since we have side by side, we can find the entire angle B by using law of cosines. So we can find all of angle B by using law of cosines. So we get cosine B is equal to the sides that are not across from B, 60 and 80 squared, minus 2 times 60 times 80 cosine angle B. Oh, why am I doing this one? Just kidding. I was like, I started doing that one and then I went to the other one. Sorry about that. Minus 139 squared, all over 2 times 60 times 80. So we're doing that formula, not the other one. And to do this formula, you will have to inverse cosine. If I type it on my calculator, you should get 100. Nope, that's not right. That's my other one. I'm like, I'm not retyping them all in. I'm trying to go back because I've done this 2 times already today. It's 166 point something. Did you get 166 point something? 0.153? Yeah. 166.153. Put this on. 66.153 degrees. Then you look at your picture and you say, well, angle B is 166.153. That's all of angle B. Do I want all of angle B? I want just this part of angle B. How am I going to get just that part? Why? So you said subtract 90. You're looking at the picture. This is going straight north, and this is going straight east. So that's 90. So if you subtract off 90, we'll have what's left over. So we'll take that answer, we'll subtract off 90, and we'll get our bearing angle. 76 point something. 153. So our final bearing answer looks like north, 76.153 degrees. Are you ready to go on to the page? Got one last example, it's super easy. Overall, I think law of cosines is easier than law of cosines. I just like it better. And again, you'll have the formulas as long as you know how to use them. You get it. You aren't going to know how to use them if you don't do your work. How was that like? All right, so this is called Heron's formula. Ooh, it's credited to the Greek mathematician 100 BC. It's a long time ago.
Is that why they call it BC count?
No. I don't think calculus was around that long ago, actually. Okay, so here's the formula for area. It's right up here, but you'll see they have these S's. Keep in mind, S first. S is just all 3 side lengths. Oh, by the way, this is first side, side. So all 3 side lengths, add them up, divide by 2, you get the S value. So we'll start with S equals, for this one, 43 plus 53 plus 72 divided by 2, and you get the S number. And then from there, we will put it into the area formula using all side lengths, A, B, and C. And again, they might not be A, B, and C. But it's all three simultaneous, so it doesn't matter which order you put them in. So the rest of the formula, you will do area equals square root. We'll do the S value multiplied by S minus A multiplied by S minus B multiplied by S minus C. Type it in your calculator, hit enter. I'm trying to guess what I think it was in my other class.
The first step,
Listen.
why do you do that?
The S?
Yeah.
Because you need that for the formula.
That's on the side.
It's a value that, what S stands for? Let's look that up. But this is the area formula. See those S's in there?
Okay.
So find S.
Oh, I didn't see the equation right there.
Okay, there's the formula. So what is this answer? Oh, I totally did not remember it at all. I was trying. Not at all what it looks like. Well, I got the 11 part. 3, 1. Oh, there's my 8, 8. 8, 9. And then this was meters. So we put M squared. You know, M is the abbreviation for meters. It's not the abbreviation for miles. You know the abbreviation for miles? MI. Good. People were using M for miles on the quiz and it was confusing. So our assignment is in the book, and I gave you all odds, which means you have the answer. You can tell if you're doing it right. I've also put the book link on campus, but some people are having trouble pulling it up, so make sure you pull it up before you leave. Otherwise, take pictures of the book or use your own book. The answers are in the back, but I didn't put the answers on campus. You need to get those if you want to check them.